Hey everyone, this is Nemesis with another video review, and this is the Transformers Power of the Primes leader class Optimus Prime. Yes, Optimus, the big red guy himself. And there he is. He's this, red semi-truck with a gray trailer. Yep, we'll get that off to the side for now. And look at the box real quick. And mine's a little torn up because of, I guess, shipping stuff. But yeah, you can see very nice artwork there. Hasbro logo, Power of the Primes, Transformers, all that stuff. Generations. Inside you can see, the thing. You can see on the top, once again, the window, which is really nice for illuminating the figures on the shelf. You got, oh hey look, Orion Pax artwork on the side. On this side you got the various Prime logos. On the bottom, of course, you got the usual copyrights and made in Vietnam barcode and everything. On the back, you have the play pattern, including also the Prime Masters and warnings and stuff. But yeah, you can see Prime and Pax and the Matrix and the different vehicle modes. And of course, when the humble Orion Pax becomes the bearer of the Matrix of Leadership, he evolves to become the noble leader Optimus Prime, as we all know because the cartoon told us, or whatever. And also in the package, along with the figure, of course, and a wrinkled set, you have the collector's card. Which again, looks at the very nice artwork of Optimus there. This one is Optimus Quintus. Imparts great wisdom to new life. Very Optimus thing to do. And of course, the nice big instructions. Again, very large, very easy to read. I like these instructions, the leaders. No, making it really tiny, like what's going on there. But anyway, a red semi-truck. That's what he is, and he rolls really well. Again, no painted rims, which again, I know upsets some people. But it is a red semi-truck. It rolls. It's got his blue and silver striping. Again, that are metallic stickers, which drives me up the wall because not only these ones are, a lot of these are applied crookedly. Again, hinges and stuff, because of edging and stuff, there's a little bit of peeling on the edges because of how they're done. So that kind of bothers me a little bit, and I wish those weren't stickers. I wish that was tampos or something. Or at the very least, not metallic, because there's also more metallic stickers up here. The Autobot symbols, which aren't quite lined up totally. They're close-ish, but one of them's slightly crooked. But you can see, yeah, he can roll. You can turn a bit. Things right here start banging together, unfortunately. So he can't go all the way, but he can go pretty far, turning. And yeah, it works pretty well. And of course, you see the semi-cab, which we're going to focus on right now. You can see, well, it's a little bit of a mess in the back. I mean, up here, it looks pretty good for a semi. See, it looks pretty good. I wasn't tabbed in all the way. But, yeah, it looks pretty good. The problem is, well, this is where things start getting messy. You just got these arms chilling out back here. They don't peg in anything. They just kind of, they're noticeably narrower than the rest of the cab. It's just kind of like, oh, yeah, I will admit, it does not look particularly good. It's kind of not great looking. Unfortunately, I feel that this is compromised solely because of the smaller the robot mode. This was the compromise they come up with, because Orion Pax looks so different from Optimus Prime regarding general styling and whatnot. But I mean, other than this part, it does look good. I mean, from the front, it looks good and stuff. And you got this gas or the tanks on the sides and everything. You got the silver striping. You even got a window, even though it's paint, picked on paint. Headlights are picked out. Nice silver bumper and grill. It does look good. He's even got his mirrors and everything. It does look like a good cab from the front. Once you turn it to the side, ooh. So, that is annoying a lot of people, and I get it, because it does not look particularly good. I mean, the rest of it looks good. It's just this part. I wish this part could have been done better. But it is what it is. Also here on the front, which is nice. You can see it. Nice. There's also little tabs so you can get your fingernail in there. The Matrix. And the proper color is silver, or gray and orange. Pull that out, and yep. It looks like the Matrix of Leadership. Blue crystal and everything. This one is in good condition. And of course, you can also pop it out. The cool thing is, once again, Prime Masters can be pushed in there instead. You can use a Prime Master. So you can give him a power of Prime. Ha ha. Yeah. It works really well. You can store the Prime Master in there if you want. But, of course, Optimus should have his Matrix. Only thing is the paint in here is so thick it kind of takes a bit to get the piece in. And then you can just put this back in. It can be a little tricky to line up properly, but put it back in. There you go. And close it up. Now, transformation. To get him to robot mode, or Orion Pax is robot mode, what you do first is take these side pieces with the wheels, unpeg them, and bring them up to the side, like that. Take these side pieces, unpeg them like this, like that, and then move them forward on this little hinge, like so. Right there, that gets them out of the way. Then you take these arms, you unfold them again. They're not tabbed into anything, so they just kind of unfold. And rotate the lower arm around as you're moving these forward, because otherwise this arm will get in the way of things. And you move it back and kind of click into place back there. Same with this one. Move it back and move this forward and click that in place. Then you untab this piece from here, move it up, close it up, and take the head and tab it in. Then you take the hips, move them down, and then down here, these are tabbed together, but do not just pull them apart. These are keyed in such a way you want to move the left one back. They're kind of keyed like that. This one's a little, the tab kind of thickens as it goes out. Then you rotate the legs at the thighs, and that's a problem with mine, is the ball joints on the thighs aren't, or hips aren't very good. Rotate them at the thighs. Take the feet, unfold them, like so. Take the feet and unfold them. Take the arms and move them down. Then take the hands. It's going to be a little tab there for that. And then you take the hands and unfold them. Then you have Orion Pax's robot mode. Ta-da! That's the thing. It's a really good version of Orion Pax. It looks a lot like the old G1 cartoon, which is very different from his previous iterations as Orion Pax. You got two very boxy versions. There was that Generations version from a couple years ago, which looked pretty cool, and you got the repaint of Cup, which either one of those are actually pretty solid toys. Just my Orion Pax is buried somewhere, and I don't have the Cup repaint. But like this, he looks really good. He looks a lot like the old cartoon again. And he also, his rifle, which you saw on the rack, and it's split in half. Just, again, it's just pegs. So, just split in half, and you can hold them as smaller weapons rather than an oversized rifle. I don't know what it is, but this one doesn't like to go in very far, but kind of looks a little weird with the large handles. But he can have two guns. And he's also sculpted with an A stance in mind. Again, he looks, I think this is why they compromised the truck mode so much, because they wanted to have Orion Pax. And the thing is, Orion Pax is very rounded, he's not, Optimus is very squared off. He's a flat-nosed truck, he's very boxy looking. Orion Pax is very rounded. You can see, rounded off shoulders and rounded off head and everything. So he's a very rounded, so the thing is, they had to make that compromise, unless they wanted to add like 1 billion panels, which would have to all fold up and stuff, which again would increase costs and parts count and all that stuff. They had to do it like that, so we had that weird back end for the truck mode, which is unfortunate, but it was the compromise they reached for this guy. But it is a good-looking robot. The only thing is, for me, this sticker is a metallic sticker, which is, on mine, a tiny bit off-center. And I've heard of people where theirs are like outright just hitting at an angle. It's like, oh dear. He's also got these stickers down here. These stickers aren't too bad. Other this one's slightly askew. And actually, they're both slightly askew looking at them. But they're, again, because they're smaller, they're a little more forgivable. And also, it's nice, this nice silver detailing right here on the ankles. So that's all well and good. But posability, he's actually got a ball jointed head. So Got a little bit of wiggle left and right, but you can look left and right as well. You can look up and down quite a bit. His shoulders are on ball joints, so forward and back. And there's a nice cut for outward. It goes about that far out before, you know, stuff starts banging into each other. There's a bicep swivel. He also has, I'm going to pull this out, a double jointed elbows because of the transformation, so that's really nice. Although you got really hollow arms because of the wrists. The wrists do not move at all because of the way they transform. No waist, again, because of all the stuff in there. There's no waist because of where the hinge is. His hips can go forward and back. They actually take the skirts with them, but they can go forward and back and go outward. There's also a little bit of movement within the skirt, but again, on mine, it doesn't take a lot of force to remove the leg entirely, which stinks. Because the thigh joints, or thigh swivels, are really tight. But again, I'll sit there and wiggle them, and then it just wiggles right off. So I have to like sit there and hold the joint, and I have to hold the ball joint in place if I want to move the thighs at all, which stinks on mine. I'm not sure if that's a common thing, but that's what mine does. Knees, a soft ratchet, moves about 90 degrees back. And then the feet, you got toe. That's about it. You don't have any side to side or anything, just toe. But it is what it is. It's fairly decent articulation. Mine's just hampered by a QC issue, which I'm going to try to figure out what to do with that. So, it's a good robot mode for Orion Pax. It's our first, like, really cartoon-accurate official Orion Pax. You know, we've had a couple other Orion Paxes, but they have a very different interpretation compared to the old G1 cartoon. So there's that. But this is a good one. Also got the little bit of silver. I forgot that little silver detailing in the yellow here, too. Looks good. But, of course, he also turns into Optimus Prime. I mean, that's part of the whole gimmick. So to do that, you want to take the arms or hands and fold them back in. Take the arms, fold them up and out, like so. Take the feet, fold them in. Then you want to take the head, untab it, open up the chest, pull out the larger head, Optimus head, pull that out. Take the Orion head, spin it around 180, flip it into the chest cavity and close it up. Then from there you take the legs and spin them around this 180, like so. I have to make sure the ball joints. Then you take them up and then move them up at the hips and then fold them at the legs, and there's a little tab right here. They'll go into little slots right here in the center like that. And you have the this part ready to go. Now for the trailer, and if you haven't already, of course, take the gun out with pegs into here. You can do it one of two ways with the gun. There's two peg holes. You can peg either one of those in there, and it kind of sits in the center. And of course, take the gun and boom, you got Optimus's ion rifle. Is that what? Yeah, ion blaster. Yeah, what I don't remember what it's called exactly. It's been a while. Yeah, you take the trailer here, take the trailer hitch and fold it up inside like this. Fold it all the way in. Take this panel right here. You got to get your finger under there and untab it and fold it up like that. Same on this side. Take get this panel and untab it, fold it up. Untab this panel up here as well. Tab those panels. And then you also want to, if they haven't already come undone, untab these panels from the waist here. These panels there's a little tab, or fairly large tabs, and they go in there. Then from there you want to take the arms and move them out a bit, whilst also moving them a little outward. You might have to, yeah. Also the hands can get caught here. And you want to move it out. While you're here, take this panel, fold it up underneath. They'll tab in. That tab will go in underneath the arm, and just fold this up and click into place, like so. And then take it all the way back, and this little tab thing here will go into this slot here. Like that, it'll click into place. Same with this side. Fold this panel up. Hold this panel until it clicks. Until it clicks. Until it clicks. There we go. And then fold this back until this clicks into place. So, you can take the arm, move it up like this. the arms like that, move them up, and then fold the arms down, like so, fold them down, take these panels, collapse them in the shoulders, and then move this up a little bit. These back here, take the smokestacks, there's a little spot, move them up, like that. Then the legs, down here the legs, untab them from each other, or at least those panels, and move them out, like that, all the way out, and straighten them out. Then unpeg the legs from each other. There's tabbed in right here. Move the feet down. 2 hinges, just move them down like that. You see that hinge, move it down. Straighten the legs out because they're, well, kind of chicken walky looking right now. Then this panel, I want to move it down. Then fold it back right here. You want to do this part first. Fold that back right there. And then wrap these panels all the way around the leg. Like this, and then this will go in a little slot right here where this will go in, and that's the leg done. And you do the same thing on this side. Fold this down, fold this back, and then wrap this around the leg until it tabs in. Such. Now this part's pretty much ready to go. All I have to do is take this part and just slide it in the back. Right here, just slide it right in. Oh, I did it wrong. I'm sorry, I did this wrong. This is actually supposed to go like this. Like that. I did it wrong, silly me. But then you just slide it in. Clicks into place. There's even little grooves for the thing. There you go. Optimus Prime. It's full robot mode. Another thing is when you're going back, when you want to pull this out, don't just pull it out. There's a little tab. There's a little thing right here, a little lever. Pull that down. And you pull that down and pull out. And there you go. It locks in nice and solid, and you can pull it out easily. And of course, you can take his gun and put it in his hand, and presto changeo, yeah. And I will say this right now, this is a really good leader class figure. I really like this figure a lot. This is the better of the two. I mean, I like the Rodimus just fine, but this is the better of the two leader class figures by far. I mean, for sure. I mean, look at these two together. I mean, they look great together, but this is the better one. This is still solid, and I would still recommend picking this guy up if you like Optimus Prime or Hot Rod, or you're just completionist. But if you're only going to get one, get this one. And again, the only thing is, again, these stickers. You know, this one's particular is crooked. There's a couple more stickers, you know, on his arms. These are actually on mine. These are actually pretty well put on. This one's a little, just slightly askew. And you got 2 more stickers down here. This one's, I'm noticing, already starting to peel on one side. But yeah, you got 2 more stickers down there. At least this is all the stickers in the front. I also kind of like these tech detailing. You can kind of see it. I think you can kind of see it. Yeah, you see this tech detailing in the window. It's kind of neat looking. Yeah, so you got that. But this guy just looks great. I mean, there's a lot of gray. I mean, that's a side effect of, you know, being the trailer. They'd have to do some crazy shenanigans to not have this gray here. Either that, or they'd have to paint it, and then the trailer would be this multicolored mess. So it was kind of again, one of those compromise things. And it looks really good. It almost looks like kind of someone took the Masterpiece and like, okay, you got to take the Masterpiece Prime MP10, but make it fit into a $45 price point. And they did it. It looks a lot like the old G1 Prime in many ways. Again, just with more gray because of just the nature of the transformation. But he's also got really good articulation. I mean, his head is on a ball joint. There's a little platform it's on, but it's on a ball joint. So you can't really look up too well, but you can, because of the shape of it. I mean, if you cut out a little divot, I suspect you'd be able to make it look up, but you can look down, you can look side to side, you can wiggle just a tad. But yeah, you can look all over the place. That's a good thing. He's got shoulders forward and back, although because of where they are, they're kind of, the shoulder joint is not, it's not here. It's not here particularly. It's back a little further. It's kind of farther back. So when you see it rotate, you can kind of see it moving back. It not too bad. I mean, for the most part, you're not going to be moving into those poses, but just be aware of that. He's also got a dedicated outward swivel, which can go all the way out like this far before it starts banging into the smokestack. And then you have to remove the panel. He's got a bicep swivel. He's got an elbow, which goes a little over 90 degrees. Unfortunately, unlike this is one thing Rodimus does have over him, which is this guy does not have wrist articulation, unfortunately. There's no wrist articulation there. And again, because of the mechanism for ejecting this, there is no waist articulation either, unfortunately. Again, I'm noticing that in leader class figures, that's what gets compromised first, is the waist articulation, then other stuff. But hips, soft, kind of soft ratchets forward and back. It only goes this far forward because of the sculpting. Well, about this far forward, actually. Because of sculpting. You can go back pretty far, though. Outward, just friction, but fold. You can do full splits. His knee, he's got a thigh swivel. Again, this is kind of limited because of the sculpt, but it does, does what it needed to do. It does what you need it to do. Knees, though, just a little over 90 degrees. I was surprised by how much that was, but a little over 90 degrees there. And the feet, though, these are really phenomenal feet. I mean, there's a lot of side-to-side articulation. You got forward and back. I mean, a lot of forward, actually, because of how it transforms. But you got forward and back. You can even have this extra joint here if you really need to just get that little bit extra. For whatever reason, you got a lot of posing options with him. It just looks really good no matter what you do. I mean, it's a great figure, period. This is I think of the two, this is clearly the better leader class figure of the Wave 1. Again, Rodimus isn't bad, in my opinion, but he is weaker overall. His weaknesses are bigger than his weaknesses. His weakness is basically just excess gray on the sides and back because of the trailer for alt mode. And I guess he's missing wrist articulation, which I wish he had. But his posability is good. He looks good. In general, he looks like Optimus. It's a really good figure. I think the only thing is in alt mode, the cab kind of stinks because of the back half of the cab kind of stinks. Look good from the front. The trailer looks good. Orion Pax looks decent, although mine has the problem with the hips. But this full-blown mode is so great. I think this is worth it right here just for this mode. So I would recommend picking this guy up, especially over Rodimus. Again, if you're only going to pick one leader, pick this one. He's good, and for $45, I think he's worth it. He's a great one, and he's also good standing if you can't get MP10 for whatever reason. So that's it. Those are my thoughts, and I hope you found this interesting and or entertaining or informative, and I shall see you next time with another video review.